I'm calling it right now. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is going to be winning Best Picture at the 95th Academy Awards next year in 2023. You heard it here first. Let's get to the review. Welcome back, film fans. This is Brad from Let's Be Real Brad, and today on the channel, I'm going to be talking about the brand new science fiction action comedy film called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is directed by Daniels, and it stars Michelle Yeoh, Stephanie Hsu, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Ke Huy Quan. This film's about an Asian Chinese immigrant who is swept up in an insane adventure where she alone can save the world by exploring other universes, connecting with the lives she could have led. And I've taken a couple days to think about this movie and process it because this movie is so amazing and so awesome that I didn't even know how to process it for a review. So let's just dive right to my positives first, because I just have so much to talk about, and I have to start with the action sequences in this movie because my god, they are simply amazing. You could see every single part of the action, and that is due to Daniels having such amazing directing in this film, but it's just so exciting and creative, and you just don't know what's gonna happen next. While having some of the best action sequences I have seen in quite some time, this is also one of the funniest films I have seen in a very long time, as I was belly laughing all the way through this film. I was laughing at almost every single joke, as it was just so over the top and crazy and weird that I was just on board with it. Speaking of the writing, this is easily one of the best screenplays of the year so far, and I truly hope it gets nominated for Best Original Screenplay, because this is one of the most original movies I have literally ever seen in the past 10 years, as this movie just feels so fresh and unique. I remember almost every single shot in this movie, and I saw it a couple days ago because this movie just feels memorable. It felt like so much time and effort went into making these shots look and feel memorable, as so many of the action sequences definitely come that way. And with this movie having so much editing, and for it to be so good, and with how many different shots and angles this movie has, it just feels like they had so much time to make this movie, and with the unlimited resources they have. When I looked up the budget for this movie, I could not believe it was only $25 million, because the visual effects in this movie are simply perfect. I mean, the movie isn't overfilled with visual effects and CGI, but when it's on screen, you can't even tell that it's there because it is so perfect and it blends in with every single aspect of the movie, especially the production design in this movie, which is also great, as there are so many different locations in this movie, as well as the cinematography is simply beautiful and perfect, and literally one of the best looking movies of the entire year. I found the performances in this movie to simply be amazing. Michelle Yeoh should definitely be nominated for Best Actress at the Academy Awards because she knocked it out of the park. She was so good in this movie, especially because she has to play different versions of herself that just go crazy, and they're so different from each other, but also the fact that she's able to do so many of her stunts when it comes to the action, and she is also able to carry out all the emotional dramatic moments in this film that are very heartbreaking. Jamie Lee Curtis also shows up in this movie, and she was really great. I thought she was going to have a very small role in this movie, and she turns out to have a much bigger role, and she was so funny. And my absolute favorite performance of this film is the little boy named Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and Data from the Goonies, which is Ke Huy Quan, who came back from acting after a 20-year absence, and he was amazing. He was so funny that I was just losing it every single time he made a joke in this film. He just understood his role and what he's supposed to be in this movie, as he has a bunch of different characters that are completely different from each other, and he was amazing in the action sequences, as he definitely did all the stunts for them, and it was just so perfect. And my final positive with this movie has got to be the attention to detail here, as this is one of the most detailed films I have ever seen in my entire lifetime, as there is so much little detail that is going on in the background of every single shot, a ton of foreshadow that is happening. You feel like every single aspect that's introduced into this film always comes back into play, whether it's a joke, emotional key moment, or just to move the story along. Lastly, the music in this movie was so damn good, as the original score for this movie was so amazing. It was so emotional and heartfelt, but when the action scenes came on, it was so triumphant and epic, especially in the third act of this movie. That was so grand and so amazing, and it just felt like Marvel movie-esque, especially with those IMAX speakers. God damn, it was amazing. Overall, guys, Everything Everywhere All at Once is simply a masterpiece. The attention to detail, the amazing performances, the awesome action sequences, the creative and over-the-top story, the editing, and the humor are all top-notch here. I hope every single one of you goes out and watches this movie, because it is important to support this film. I'm giving Everything Everywhere All at Once a 10 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out this review, as I want to know below in the comments section, what are your favorite films of 2022 so far? I can't wait to hear about those. But before you guys check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you want to, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following video.